Hello everybody here at Holy Family Memorial. This is Tom Veeser. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer and I'm here to welcome you to our DAISY Awards. This is a very unique and different DAISY Award as we're doing this during the pandemic via the video process. I do believe through the pandemic we have seen the impact that nurses make on our patients and their families more than ever. We have had restricted visiting times and many very ill people in our ICUs, in our women and children centers on our 5th floor and other locations, and now separated from their families during these troubling times. Today you're going to hear over 33 nominations that were submitted by patients and their families, all highlighting the elements and the great work that our nurses do here every day and often without recognition. But today we have the recognition from the patients themselves. So I thank you for your time and listening and participating in our series today. And I want to congratulate all the nominees for the great work they do here each and every day.
A prayer during these uncertain times of pandemic. During these times, Lord, we nurses need your help to care for our patients. We need you to help us to be your presence. Let us be your healing touch. Let us be your comfort and relief. Let us be your vigilance, and let us be your enough. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen. So I get the pleasure of telling you what the DAISY Award is about. The DAISY Award is in memory of a patient named Patrick Barnes who died from an autoimmune disorder. DAISY stands for diseases affecting the immune system, and that's how they got their idea. The family was so happy with the care that they received from the nurses for their loved one that they wanted to give back. And how they felt that they wanted to give back was by recognizing nurses who go above and beyond, which during these times all nurses are going above and beyond. But they use the word DAISY, and that's why we have the DAISY flower in order to recognize a special individual nurse.
Good afternoon. I am here to present to you the Healer's Touch statue. This represents the bond of a nurse and her patient. This is a hand-carved statue by artists in Zimbabwe, the Shona tribe. Congratulations on your award.
We were lucky enough to have John take care of my husband during his recent stay in the CCU. We knew John from several years back when my husband spent time in the CCU. John is very professional, compassionate, and patient. He always made me feel comfortable and would explain things as issues arose. He would always help me when my husband needed assistance, and I always felt better knowing that John was the one taking care of him. These traits are so important to me because when a loved one is in the CCU, it really helps knowing that he is getting the best care possible. This is at least the second time John has cared for my father while at Holy Family Memorial. John is an exceptional healthcare professional in all aspects. His calm personality, professionalism, and genuine concern for his patients is evident in all of his interactions. Taran was so kind and very careful with my shoulder, offered to support my arm, etc., to make me more comfortable. Also telling me she would be very careful with me while doing my test. She asked me several times how I was doing and if I needed anything with the support change. And as soon as I awoke, she was smiling down at me. She said I did very well and everything went perfectly. This is what I needed to hear. She asked if my shoulder was okay, and it was. Through all of this, from start to finish, every time I looked at Taran, she had a smile on her face. You know what they say, a smile goes a long way. Kathy was very compassionate, knowledgeable, and approachable. It's hard to switch roles from being a nurse to being a patient, and she made it easy. Thank you, Kathy, for easing my stay post-bowel resection. I have never had a nurse that was so passionate about her job. She always made me feel at ease, and I feel went out of her way to help me. Quick to answer call buttons, explained meds and options to me, and made me feel like a person and not a patient. She is the most caring nurse I have ever had the pleasure of having at my bedside. Very personable and just a great asset to her profession and Holy Family Memorial. She deserves to be recognized. When I was in labor, Camile helped me so much by being a huge support person. She kept saying how great I was doing and was calling me a rock star and didn't leave my side the last 2 centimeters of dilation before it was time for my baby to be born. She was very informative during the last minutes of labor and teaching me how to push and was extremely patient with me as I couldn't do exactly as she wanted and ended up holding my leg because I couldn't. She was a great support during that time. Camile, excellent nurse. Thank you for your help during delivery. Labor pain is no joke, and I am sorry if I squeezed your hand a little bit too hard during labor. Thank you for everything. Every child and every delivery is different, and your help made it easier. We were fortunate enough to have the same nurse both times. That special nurse was Dorothy. She had a sense of humor, which is an asset for a nervous, anxious, and painful patient. Her expertise was apparent from telling my husband what the next step was, to starting the IV, answering all of his questions, and keeping his comfort level her top priority. During our second visit, all of the staff that entered the room were courteous, friendly, and very helpful. We have chosen Dorothy to receive this award for her outstanding care, her humor and positive attitude, and most of all, her compassion. As a retired employee and nurse from HFM, I was proud of the surgery center and same-day staff for the wonderful care my husband received. Our thanks and gratitude. My wife was admitted to the CCU for physical issues stemming from mental health causes. Olga took the time to help explain what she was going through and listen to my questions and concerns. The thing I really took away from the whole experience was when Olga told me she had experience with mental health and could see the flicker behind my wife's eyes and knew my wife was in there. That is how I know my wife is still trying to come forward and doesn't want to wear the mask her illness has given her. Olga just really helped me put at ease and kept me on a positive path. My father was a patient at HFM after a fall at home. The plan was for his discharge the next day. He was becoming very restless and agitated that evening, but my brother and I were unable to figure out why. After all, he was being discharged the next day. I don't remember exactly why Jackie came in or how the conversation started. My dad told Jackie he was nervous about tomorrow as he didn't know how things worked. Where would he be going? Who sets things up? How will things be paid, among others? Jackie sat down and talked with my father. In her answer, she weaved in personal experiences with similar situations in her family. She was very patient listening to him, often having to repeat answers a number of times for him. Sometimes hearing related, other times because he didn't understand. He explained that he did not want to go to one of the local facilities as that is where his wife passed, and he felt it would trigger a lot of emotions. She expressed compassion as she talked with my dad. I was blown away by how she handled my dad's questions and how much time she spent answering them. By the end of the conversation, I could tell my dad was no longer agitated and restless. We had been in the hospital for several days, during which time I got to meet many nurses. And while they were all lovely, one in particular stood out, Sierra. Not only was she delightful and extremely professional, but she took the time to make me feel comfortable and at ease with any questions or concerns I had. She never appeared stressed or overwhelmed, which I appreciated. She got to know me as a person. We shared family stories and just talked about life. Being cooped up in the hospital for days, our conversations kept me sane. When I received my thank you card from the staff, she had said my dad would have been proud of me. My father passed away when I was 18. Seeing that comment from her meant so much to me. She is the best. I delivered my son early because I had HELP syndrome. The day after he was delivered, he was brought to a hospital in Green Bay that has a NICU, as he was having difficulty breathing. The whole experience was terrifying. I was worried about my health and was separated from my newborn son, whose health I was also terrified about. Sierra was my nurse through most of my experience at Holy Family Memorial. She was so good to have around. She was real and helpful and refreshing. She made me feel safe, and that was important to me at that time. She was empathetic and understood all my worries and made sure I understood what was happening with my body and my son's. Overall, I was very lucky to have her. Wonderful bedside manner, very passionate and caring, great communication with family. Best nurse we have had in a while. We are thankful to have her. Kayla spent the first few days after our delivery helping us in any way she could. She helped with nursing and feeding when it seemed stressful to this new mama. She talked kindly and gently to our baby and was informative and a pleasure to talk to. She made us feel at home. I recently had a hysterectomy and Kayla was there for me, very supportive and compassionate. Even after I left, I had to return 2 days later and she was waiting when I got to the door. Great follow-up. Every nurse showed great care. Kayla is compassionate. She understands her patients' needs, gives them choices, and doesn't make decisions for them. Thank you for your help, Kayla. You're wonderful at what you do. My husband and I believe it only takes a moment to give a compliment and that more people should give compliments. It is with a grateful heart that I take the time to give this compliment and nomination to Candice, our ER nurse. She was a fantastic nurse and I will never forget the compassion she showed to me that night. I didn't have any family with me in the ER as this happened during lockdown, and yet I was surrounded with support by Candice's action. She was so kind and knew just what I needed without me speaking any words. She gave us time together to have our last kiss, and as he was being placed in the ambulance, she held my hand. I knew God was with me, but to have that physical touch of another meant so much. She didn't want me to feel alone. Her compassion and support were so superb that I would like her as a friend. If she's that good of a nurse, I can only imagine that she must be a good friend. Thank you, Candice, from the bottom of my heart. My best friend is an AP/NP at Aurora, and one of her nurses happens to be the daughter of the patient who was recently lost to COVID-19. Although we never professionally discussed this patient, my friend would tell me about him from the daughter's point of view. My friend called me the day he passed to tell me how emotional her nurse was at the dedication and level of compassion that his nurse displayed. She stayed with him while he was dying, so he wouldn't die alone. She was overcome with the genuine kindness. His nurse was Tamra Kochler. Jennifer was my nurse from the very beginning when I arrived in the surgical area until I was discharged in the early evening. My surgery was delayed 2 hours, and she was so accommodating to make me feel comfortable. I feel like we were really good friends. She was so very nice and friendly to my 2 sons. I am 90 years old, and I feel like she has a gift to make everyone happy when they are in her care and unhappy and fearful of their health. My husband was brought to Holy Family Memorial via rescue squad. We were lucky enough to have Rosie take care of him. She was very professional and thorough while still having a sense of humor. Being the spouse of someone brought into the ER is obviously very stressful, but Rosie kept both of us informed and kept our spirits up. She also took him up to the 5th floor to be admitted to a regular room. She made that portion of the day so much easier on both of us. Thank you, Rosie. Ashton met me each morning with a bright smile and kind words. She is knowledgeable and compassionate. When my IV came out and bled all over my robe at the end of Ashton's shift, she gladly stayed to replace my IV without rushing. She remained pleasant and even offered to see if she could get my robe washed. Ashton is a good listener. The day my blood pressure was very high, she listened to me as I told her how we usually handle it. She then relayed this information to the doctor. I looked forward to seeing her each day, knowing I was in good hands. Ashton is the perfect example of an exceptional nurse. When my wife said she did not want to go to any more hospitals, I called Holy Family Hospice. Nicole was there within hours. She helped move my wife around to make her comfortable, got medications ordered, and told me how to administer. She then told me the hardest thing that I would ever have heard, how everything was going to happen until my wife would earn her wings and go to heaven. She said to hold her hand and talk to her, that she would understand, and that is what I did. I spent every moment I could with her, and yes, I believe she understood everything I said. On the third day, Nicole said she only had hours left. I was holding my wife's hand when she took her last breath. I told her I loved her and kissed her goodbye many times. Nicole was there within an hour. She dressed my wife in her favorite dress and sandals and made my wife look so nice. She called the funeral home and took care of everything. I was able to spend as much time with my wife as I wanted before they picked her up. Nicole is an angel in my eyes, and I cannot imagine how things would have went without her. I had a hysterectomy, and Charity was so kind. She was always there to help me and very attentive. She went above and beyond to make me feel comfortable and ensure my safety. Jodi cared for my father while at Holy Family Memorial. Jodi is an exceptional healthcare professional in all aspects. Her calm personality, professionalism, and genuine concern for her patients is evident in all of her interactions. Her sense of humor was a good fit for my dad, and we believe strongly in having a positive attitude in these situations. It contributed to his recovery. She always had a smile and a positive attitude, both very important to a patient. Jodi is so helpful, sweet, and willing to take time to talk to family members. Liz has taken such great care of my mother. She showed us so much compassion, respect, and true caring for all of her needs and the family. I loved seeing her excitement when she saw my mom taking a few steps. She was so proud of her. Liz asked us to keep her posted on my mother's progress once she is released. How heartwarming. All of the staff have been terrific. Thank you, everyone. Liz, extra thanks and hugs to you. Happy day. Poua cared for me after my surgery. She was extremely caring and gentle. She explained to me right away that she was in training and would refer to the head RN if she had any questions or if I wanted her to. There was no need, as she made me feel very comfortable and proved that she was more than competent. She took her time and listened to all of my requests and went out of her way to fill them. She is a young girl with a huge heart, and I feel she deserves to be recognized.
Congratulations to our Daisy Award winners and nominees. Hearing your stories has truly been heartwarming. There is no doubt that you have touched so many patients and their families, and that is what HFM is all about. Each of you truly embodies the commitment to turn hurt into healing, and you live our mission every day. Thank you for bringing the compassionate, healing ministry of Jesus Christ to our organization and the individuals we serve. And Candice, Nicole, and Jackie, a special thank you to you and your healing presence. You are all a blessing to HFM.
It's my pleasure to hear that Jackie Hilke has won one of our great awards today. I have the pleasure of working with Jackie each and every day. She works here as both a supervisor and as a staff nurse. And what we heard today about her patience and listening and support of our patients, she also does with our nursing staff as well. And I'm very proud and thankful for you sharing your talents here at Holy Family Memorial. Congratulations, Jackie.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy. I'm the director of the emergency room and intensive care unit here in Holy Family. I am just doing a little shout out to Candice Klein, one of the winners of the Daisy Award. Just wanted to say, if you know Candice, you know what an amazing person she truly is. Candice goes above and beyond for every patient, every time. And not only that, she also touches her coworkers that she works with on a daily basis. Candice is also a SANE nurse, which is a sexual assault nurse examiner. I think that speaks volumes. She goes above and beyond in every interaction with families. A family member could be upset and crying due to news that the patient was just given, and Candice will take the time to hold that person's hand. She will take the time to call the patient's family and make sure that they truly understand what's going on. One of my favorite things about Candice is also she's the world's most amazing baker. She makes the best things. The staff absolutely love her treats that she brings. So if you ever get a chance to taste one of Candice's concoctions, you'll know that it's truly amazing and a miracle. So again, congratulations, Candice. You are very deserving of this award. Thank you for always going above and beyond, not only for your patients, but also for Holy Family. Thank you.
HFM Hospice and Home Health are certainly blessed to have such an amazing and inspiring nurse in our team. Nicole Reno puts her whole heart and soul into her profession and into her ministry for caring for HFM hospice patients. She works tirelessly to ensure our hospice patients receive the absolute best care possible. She always finds time to ensure her care and the care of her whole hospice team is individualized to the patient as well as the family and caregivers. She makes time to share a smile, a laugh, or shed a tear when necessary. Her professionalism and skill for caring for hospice patients is truly inspiring. Congratulations, Nicole, on this well-deserved award and recognition. It is not a surprise to me or your HFM Home Health and Hospice work family that you would receive such an award, and we are so happy for you to receive this recognition. God bless.
I want you to join us in this celebration and share cinnamon rolls with us. Why cinnamon rolls, you ask? This was one of Patrick's favorite things, and when he was ill, he had lost his appetite. His dad had brought one in one day and was for his breakfast, and Patrick asked if he could share. And he wound up eating the whole cinnamon roll. So that's why we share cinnamon rolls. He asked if his family would bring in more to share for the nurses and as a thank you. So the Daisy Award wants us to share cinnamon rolls with all the departments of the winners of this wonderful award in a gift of gratitude to all you do. HFM and the Daisy Award salutes you and honors you. Thank you so much for what you do.